Yeah, I'm gonna touch on this video right quick. That guy that shot them two cops, Dixion, they said he got arrested in Obetz yesterday or last night with a self-inflicted wound to himself. I think the cops set him up like that. I think they were involved in that. Basically, one of my friends was saying that she felt because of the award money, I think it was $10,000 for his capture and all that, that was the reason why, either he killed himself or the cops did it themselves. But they covering it up. Don't want to let nobody know that they probably was the ones that did it, because they rolled up on him. And whomever got the $10,000 money, reward money for his capture, really were the ones that called on him for the cops to come out there and try to arrest him. And the cops knew he wasn't going to give up like that. The cops knew that he wasn't going to just come walking out with his hands up, because he already had shot two damn cops in the first place. So that reward money was the reason probably why either he might have shot himself because he didn't want to get captured, because the cops knew he wasn't going to walk out and surrender himself to them, especially after he shot two cops and was firing with them. You know what I'm saying? One of my girlfriends, not girlfriend, but friend, she brought that topic up, that situation up, and it made sense, because how are you going to get somebody like that and ain't going to back down from no cops, ain't scared of no cops, gonna stand there and shoot it out with the cops, and then fuck two cops up, by shooting their ass. So they had to find another way to get him. And she said that she felt that, that money, their reward money to capture him was the reason why he got captured. Because he wasn't going to walk out, not from what I seen when he was shooting them cops out, shooting out with the cops and shooting at them, and then shot both of them and kept on firing. They knew he wasn't going to surrender under no circumstances, because he probably didn't like cops, and they probably did some stuff to him in the past that built it up in him over the days, weeks, months, and years. And people don't forget shit like that. People don't forget dirty cops. They don't. And if there's any way they can do it without getting in trouble, they'll use other people to do it and make a statement. He made a statement because he shot two cops. And on top of that, the cops made a statement too, because whoever called them on him, on Dixion, the person that received the money, they probably gonna stay anonymous, whether they black, white, or foreign, or male, female, young or old, or whatever. Because if they don't, their lives gonna be in jeopardy for setting him up like that. It was a setup by the cops. The setup was the money. The money they put out there, like they was teasing the public. If you want this money, tell us where he is. So whomever called in and told him where he was, they baited him in with the money, and they took the bite. I don't know if the cops gonna keep their bargain or their end of the bargain up or whatever. Maybe they will. But even if they do, they ain't gonna reveal the person who told on him or told on Dixion, because they don't want to get hurt. They don't want to get shot up by retaliation from his friends and maybe some of his family members or total strangers. So my girlfriend, not girlfriend, but friend, she said she felt that that's the reason he had a self-inflicted wound. That's what the cops say. But the cops don't tell the truth. I told you they liars. They'll tell you just enough to convince whomever, you or whomever. But if you that damn dumb and naive and can't read between shit, well, you're going to always get played that way. But if you know the game on all levels, you've been around motherfuckers like that, you've been in the streets, you know what it is, you know the code word and the codes of the streets that you do it, things you do and don't do. And even even if you're a cop, whether you black, white, whatever, you know the code rules of being a cop, the rules and regulation of the game of being a cop. You know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, why to say it, and don't say it. You know, same thing in the streets. Because if you do, it's going to cost you something. Could be your life, it could be your family members, it could be your best friends, you know what I'm saying? Your in-laws, your outlaws, whatever you want to call them. You know, innocent people that probably wouldn't deserve to go through it. That money baited him. And when I say baited him or her, could be a woman that turned him in. $10,000 in these times is a lot of money. Especially when people going through all these hard times and they're struggling, they're losing the benefits they had because of the government. You know, that idiot in office and all that, you know, and his cronies, you know. They making the rich richer and the poor poorer. Why do you think all these crimes are people are committing them? Because of this shit. Because the government don't care about their people. But the government want the people, they want to use the people to get in office. And then when they get in office, they shut their ass and don't do the shit they supposed to be doing and was elected for in the first place. Male, female, white, black, whatever you are. But I think that the cops shot him, though. That's just my opinion. Based on what my friend that came over and we were talking about it. Because, you know, she brought it up and said, you know, she seen it on the news. And I questioned her about it. You know, I didn't see it. I heard about it. It may be on the internet right now. But I think, and I agree with what she said, because it made sense. You know, she said that she felt that somebody turned him in. You know, they knew who he was, but they wanted that money. Money is the ruler of all evil, but it's also the ruler of people that are poor, that need that kind of money to take care of themselves, their family, their babies, their kids, you know, things like that on the flip side. But she said she thought that whoever seen who he was, the cops kept getting on TV telling people to call in if you see him, blah, 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 blah. Well, whoever did it, did it. They told him, or told them where he was. They creeped out there, rode up on him, probably surrounded the place. And they knew he wasn't going to come out with his hands up, because he already had blood from shooting the first two. So he was going to do the rest. He was going to get some more. So she said that she felt the money was the bait for the public. Whomever, you know, told on him or told them where he was, they was going to get the money. So that's why she felt that happened, that they set him up and the person that knew where he was, they baited them in with the money. I don't know if they gonna give it to him or her, but the money was the key issue to getting him caught. And then they say he, shot himself with a self-inflicted wound, and he's in critical condition. He might have done that because he wasn't going back to jail. He wasn't going to surrender. Then on the flip side of that, you got to think about the cops could have done that themselves and keeping it quiet amongst themselves because they was that angry because he shot two cops. And one is still fighting for his life. So she also said she felt one of them cops, or maybe more than one, shot him point blank and killed him. Or well, he's in critical condition. So you know, critical is like dying, pretty much. So it's one of those two things. The money was the bait. Whomever called in and told him where he was took the bait, the money. The cops came out, rode up on him, made sure he was out there. He was the one that they were talking about. I don't know if they broke in the house or shot through the window, shot through the door, or whatever. But somehow he was shot. They said he shot himself. And then other people's thinking the cops might have done it. And won't give no further details yet. Because they don't want the public to know that if they had done that, they was the reason why he died or is in critical condition. So it's either or. Either or the cops are lying and not putting all the truth out about the situation, or he did shoot himself to keep from going to jail. Because probably he would have been doing life. But the truth gonna always come out regardless of anybody who try to cover it up and lie about shit. You know, it's coming out. You can't stop the truth because the Lord said, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So the truth will come out. People can say whatever, speculate whatever. I can speculate and say whatever. I'm going by what my friend told me. You know, she felt that was the reason, and it made sense because I agree with her. You know, I felt like, you know, the money is what found him, and I think the cops killed him or shot him, and you know, to where he was in critical condition. I might be wrong, but it's one or the other. Either he had a shootout with him again, one of the cops shot him and killed and wounded him pretty bad where he's in critical condition, or he shot himself. But remember, the money was the key to getting him caught. And then if he shot himself or the cops shot him, or cops, doesn't matter. I mean, point is he's in the hospital in critical condition. And basically whoever called it in and wanted the money, we'll see if they get the money. Cops use people too. And then don't follow through with what they say they're going to do to help you. If you give them some information or help them with their cases. They dirty. You know, and then they try to scare you and they're not saying nothing to the public or other people. They trying to like punk you. If you say this or say that, well, you're going to get so and so many years or days, weeks, and months and all that bullshit. That's how they play you. Because they know you scared. But if you ain't scared and don't give a fuck, they can't do shit. They could try. And if they do some shit out the guidelines of their rules and regulations of being a motherfucking cop, they're going to be on the flip side wearing jail fatigue just like the people they arrest and put in jail for lying. So that's all I got to say about it. I mean, it makes sense. It's one or the other. You people out there that listen to this video, you better be thinking about this shit. You better think about it real hard. Money is the key to all evil. You know? But money also is the key to happiness. You get that kind of money, you can live. You can take care of some things, pay some bills, you know, help some folks. You know, help the sick and things like that. So it's one or the other. So all I'm saying is it makes sense. And I was like, you know what, that do make sense later.